Ladies and gentlemen, let's start with a question. What is the advice that has the power to touch millions? Is it groundbreaking? Is it revolutionary? Or is it something so fundamentally simple, yet deeply resonant, that it speaks to the core of who we are? The answer is simple truths. Simple truths have the power to transform. Think about it. The advice that touches hearts and moves minds doesn't just speak to where we are now, it guides us toward who we can become. It's a reminder, a gentle nudge to align our daily habits with our highest aspirations. The power of simple truths lies in their ability to resonate deeply with people across different walks of life. In a world filled with complexity and noise, the advice that touches millions often isn't a convoluted theory or an unattainable ideal. It's a clear, straightforward message that simplifies life's challenges and illuminates a path forward. The beauty of simplicity is that it strips away confusion, leaving behind the essence of what truly matters. Simple truths endure because they reflect universal principles that apply to everyone, regardless of age, background, or circumstances. They cut through cultural and societal differences, appealing to our shared humanity. For instance, the idea that small, consistent actions lead to significant results is not just a motivational phrase, it's a timeless principle that governs everything from personal development to business success. Whether you're planting a tree or building a career, the underlying truth remains: small efforts, repeated with purpose, yield extraordinary outcomes over time. Another reason simple truths resonate so deeply is that they are often self-evident once articulated, yet we fail to act on them until reminded. People don't need complex strategies to understand that kindness fosters connection, that gratitude enhances happiness, or that discipline is the foundation of achievement. These truths are accessible to everyone, but their simplicity is also why they are often overlooked. The familiarity of a simple truth can make it seem trivial, but its impact is anything but. When applied, these insights can unlock doors that once seemed firmly shut.
The true power of simple truths lies not just in their accessibility, but in their ability to inspire action. Advice that is too complex or abstract can overwhelm, leaving people feeling stuck. In contrast, simple advice like start with one small step or focus on what you can control
Empowers individuals to take immediate action. This is the kind of advice that catalyzes change because it feels achievable. It's not about promising overnight success, but about providing a clear starting point, which often feels like the hardest step to take. Moreover, simple truths gain power through repetition. The more a person hears and applies these principles, the deeper they take root in their life. This repetition builds habits, and habits shape character. For example, the idea that you become what you repeatedly do isn't groundbreaking, but it serves as a constant reminder of how daily actions compound over time to create either success or failure. Hearing this truth again and again doesn't diminish its impact, it reinforces its value. When a simple truth is shared widely, its impact multiplies. Advice that touches millions is rarely an isolated insight. It's a message that has been refined through lived experience and shared from one person to the next. This collective embrace of a simple truth creates a ripple effect, amplifying its influence. One person's life changes, and they share their story, inspiring others to take similar steps. Ultimately, the power of simple truths lies in their universality, clarity, and ability to drive action. They remind us that the path to growth and fulfillment is not hidden in complexity, but lies in consistently practicing timeless principles. These truths, while simple in form, hold the potential to create profound transformations when embraced wholeheartedly. Action over inspiration is a fundamental principle that separates wishful thinking from meaningful progress. While inspiration can ignite a spark of motivation, it is action that sustains the fire of achievement. This concept may seem straightforward, but its simplicity belies its profound impact. Inspiration, no matter how powerful, is fleeting if not channeled into deliberate steps. Action, on the other hand, transforms fleeting moments of clarity into tangible outcomes. It bridges the gap between dreaming and doing. The allure of inspiration lies in its ability to make us feel hopeful, energized, and capable of change. Moving speech, a compelling book, or an uplifting story can stir emotions and plant seeds of possibility. In these moments, we see glimpses of our potential, and the desire to improve or create something meaningful comes alive. But inspiration without action is like a seed that is never planted. It holds promise but fails to bear fruit. Many people get caught in a cycle of seeking inspiration after inspiration, believing the next dose will finally push them to act. Yet no amount of external motivation can replace the internal decision to take a first step. Action, unlike inspiration, is not always glamorous. It often involves mundane, repetitive, or challenging tasks that don't feel as exciting as the initial spark of motivation. However, these actions are where real growth occurs. Consider someone inspired to get fit after watching a transformation story. The inspiration might compel them to sign up for a gym membership or buy workout gear. But the results will come not from that initial excitement, but from consistently showing up at the gym, even on days when enthusiasm wanes. Taking action also generates its own momentum. One of the most remarkable aspects of action is that it feeds on itself. The first step may feel the hardest, whether it's making a phone call, writing a single paragraph, or starting a conversation. But once that step is taken, it becomes easier to take the next. Action builds confidence, which in turn fuels more action. This positive feedback loop transforms what initially felt daunting into a manageable process. Over time, the cumulative effect of these small steps leads to substantial achievements. Another key aspect of action over inspiration is that it creates clarity. Often people wait for the perfect plan or moment before acting, paralyzed by the fear of failure or uncertainty. But clarity doesn't come from overthinking, it comes from doing. Action reveals what works and what doesn't, allowing adjustments along the way. Mistakes made in the pursuit of action are valuable lessons, far more informative than endless deliberation. The power of action also lies in its ability to turn passive consumption into active creation. While inspiration is often about receiving ideas, action is about applying them. It's not enough to hear good advice or read an insightful book. The real impact comes when those lessons are integrated into daily life. Acting on what we learn makes knowledge practical and transformative. In the end, inspiration is a starting point, but action is the journey. It's the difference between wishing for a better life and actively creating one. When you choose action over inspiration, you take control of your path, moving from dreaming about possibilities to living them. That is the ultimate power of action. It turns potential into reality. The ripple effects of shared wisdom are a testament to the power of ideas to transcend individual lives and influence entire communities, societies, and even generations. Advice that touches millions rarely begins as a grand or viral phenomenon. It starts with a single person, someone who hears a message, internalizes it, and applies it to their life. When that person experiences transformation, they share it consciously or unconsciously, and the wisdom takes on a life of its own. This chain reaction amplifies the impact of the original insight, creating ripples that extend far beyond the initial source. One of the most compelling aspects of shared wisdom is its natural tendency to spread. When advice resonates deeply, it sparks a desire to share. This isn't because the advice is merely interesting, it's because it feels important. People naturally want to pass on what has helped them, whether it's a principle, a technique, or a perspective. Consider the simple but powerful idea that your habits shape your future. Someone who adopts this mindset might find that building positive routines changes their life for the better. The result of this transformation often isn't contained within that individual. They might teach it to a child, a friend, or a colleague. These people in turn might adopt the principle and share it with others, and so the ripple expands. Shared wisdom also creates a sense of connection. When people share advice that has impacted them, they often speak from a place of vulnerability or authenticity. They're not just conveying information, they're sharing a piece of their journey. This honesty resonates with others and encourages them to reflect on their own lives. Shared advice becomes a bridge between individuals, fostering understanding and solidarity. It reminds us that while our circumstances may differ, the principles that guide human growth are universal. The beauty of this process lies in its accessibility. You don't need a platform, fame, or a vast audience to create ripples. A simple conversation, a heartfelt recommendation, or even a social media post can set the ripple effect in motion. Sometimes the person sharing the advice doesn't even realize the extent of its impact. A passing comment or a small gesture might inspire someone in profound ways, and that inspiration might continue to spread. This is how seemingly small actions can create extraordinary outcomes. The ripple effects of shared wisdom also highlight the importance of action in making advice meaningful. Advice gains momentum not when it is heard, but when it is applied. When someone applies a principle, their results become a living example of its effectiveness. This real-world demonstration is often more persuasive than the advice itself. Seeing someone else succeed because of a particular insight motivates others to try it for themselves. Success stories add credibility and fuel the desire to share. Finally, shared wisdom multiplies because it meets people where they are. Advice that touches millions isn't just profound, it's relatable. It addresses universal challenges, fear, uncertainty, ambition, or the desire for growth in ways that feel personal. Each person who embraces the advice interprets it through their own lens, adapting it to their unique circumstances. This adaptability ensures that the advice remains relevant as it travels from one person to the next. In essence, the ripple effects of shared wisdom are a reflection of our interconnectedness. Every piece of advice has the potential to create change, not just for the individual who receives it, but for countless others down the line. When you share wisdom, you're not just helping one person, you're planting seeds that can grow and spread far beyond what you can imagine. That is the power of shared wisdom, its ability to transcend boundaries, multiply its impact, leave a legacy that reaches far beyond its origin.